In a world where dreams meet reality, there exists a place where your business can flourish. That place is Shopify. Imagine having the power to craft your online store with tools that make it as easy as a gentle breeze. Whether you're an artisan of handmade wonders, a creator of digital treasures, or a curator of the latest trends, Shopify stands by your side. With its customizable templates, seamless integrations, and support that's always there, your dream store is just a heartbeat away. Join millions of visionaries around the globe and let Shopify guide you on your journey. Visit roguemedianetwork.com/Shopify. That's roguemedianetwork.com/SHOPIFY. And embark on your free trial. Shopify, where your commerce dreams come to life.
Most bankers aren't ready to help you until after their third cup of coffee. But with Central National Bank's after-hours service, you don't have to wait for the bank lobby to open to get help. You can contact us from 6 to 8:30 in the morning or from 5 to 10 in the evening, and we'll connect you to a real, live, local person who can answer questions and fix problems 7 days a week. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. Member FDIC.
Caroline, you should tell them about the newest thing that Bloody Happy Hour is doing.
A Patreon.
It's a Patreon. What is that?
That means you're basically like a VIP member, and there's 2 different levels that you can, subscribe to, and you get some perks. You maybe get like merch a little earlier. You get
exclusive merch.
You could get first dibs on signing up for a live show. You get episodes with no commercials.
You get our video because our video is no longer available on YouTube. It is only on Patreon. And the most important to me is you get videos of our live shows. So if you are far away and you couldn't make our last live show, it will be on the website. We're going to record this future live show. It's going to be on Patreon, but also bonus episodes each month. You guys tell us all the time you want more episodes. This is a way for you to get more episodes. So you're going to get our basic Tuesday, Thursdays that we always put out, right? But if you're on a Patreon, you're VIP, you're going to get more.
I can't wait to talk about in detail some more stories because I always have a lot of details I want to go to. I can law-splain. I might read a book.
They just unsubscribed. This is also going to be the exclusive place that Dirty Chat is going to go to. So if that is breaking some of your hearts, just go ahead and subscribe now. In order to hear the full content, it's going to be Patreon. Where do they go again?
Patreon.com/BloodyHappyHour.
Don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DT.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this
is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Hey y'all, this is April.
Ha! Tour! Spit on that thing!
And we got Hawk in the building. This is your Bloody Happy Hour. Bloody Hour.
Bloody Hacktow Hour. Hacktua Hour. This is your Bloody Hacktua Hour.
And this is your full episode where we give you all the goodies for one full story. And today we are going to Myrtle Beach.
Ooh.
And if you're on our Patreon, you want to tune in because me and Caroline are just about to record ourselves having a happy hour.
We are.
What are you drinking today?
I'm drinking some vodka, bitch.
I got some tequila reposado.
Ooh, let me taste it.
Hornitos. It is real strong.
Good.
I feel like it is. And
I feel
that's
like
why
that's
I had a
what
big
we
old
need.
burp a minute ago. with some lime.
Oh, yeah. That's good. That's good. That's a good.
You're never supposed to measure when you pour your tequila.
No, ma'am.
So I have a story that I just stumbled upon. But first, I got to tell you.
Tell me.
Should I be alarmed? I got another, is this a red flag type thing or not? But it has nothing to do with Sweepy.
I was about to say, is Sweepy buying more bricks? What's he got?
No, but I need to send you the picture of the bricks in the back of the truck. So at least when they're identified, you know.
Yes, please do it. That we can have it on the phone. We can have it, record it.
Yeah. We have evidence of it.
Yeah.
So we had to get we have satellite for our cable.
Yeah.
Okay, and we had to get the little satellite thing moved to another part of the roof because there's work being done on the house, right?
Yeah.
So the guy came out and did his job or whatever, but he was very kind of like the guy we just met downstairs.
Lingery and talkative.
Yeah, and just kind of socially
and
deficits.
Sus. Socially sus.
But not all the way on the spectrum because I could see that, but just a little different. But it was very nice and just very repetitive and whatever. So that happened Monday. Today is Thursday.
It is Thursday, yeah.
And doorbell rings, and it's the guy. His job was totally done on Monday. Everything closed out, and it's the guy. The satellite guy, and he comes back, and I'm not there. I'm in Temple, and I'm looking at the doorbell, and then Sweepy calls me up, and he's like, "That was the TV guy, the satellite guy." And I was like, "Well, what did he want?" He's like, "Man, this motherfucker's weird." He said that he left his white hard hat here at the house, and that and asked, "Have we seen it?" And we were like, "No." Sweepy was like, "No, we ain't seen a hard hat." And he says, "Well, do you mind if I walk your property and look around for it?" And
Sir, what are you trying to bet?
And Sweepy was like, "No, there's no hard hat out there. It's not here." And he goes, "I just don't know where I left it, and I just thought I left it here.
Bro, look in your truck
and I wanted to go look around the property." And Sweepy was like, "No, it's not here."
This is the thing.
And it's like, why did you, one, not call and ask us that if we've seen it, and why would you just show up?
Okay, first of all, I've tried to put myself in this position.
You would let
Luckily, anybody who be ringing my doorbell, I don't answer. I always, at all times, unless it's, even if you're delivering me pizza, put it down. I'm not doing face-to-face. Yeah. Because you might stab me or you might try to intrude on me.
And let me tell you, this is a middle-aged, white Protestant man.
He's
that
number one.
He can't. He's the number one. If
number
there's be a
one
crime
murder
committed, it's going to be by...
But would he be killing... Maybe
would he cross racial lines?
Exactly.
So Soupy was like, maybe he thinks you would be here during the day and he's going to catch you here. And I was like, did you say anything about you working nights? Because sometimes Soupy will be like, well, I'm going to go to sleep. I work nights or something like that. And I don't want people to know that besides every listener that we're listening to right now.
He doesn't work nights anymore, though, so it's fine. That was like
today.
Years ago. I mean, that was like a couple days ago. He's got a new shift.
I was like, did you mention anything like that? Anyways, it kind of freaked me out for a second, but I forgot all about it.
And then you found his hat, and it was in the backyard.
No hat. I just really think he's probably real spacey and just don't know where he left his hat.
So
he's retracing his steps.
Oh, he's a space cadet like me. But I would have probably
does
called.
Happen,
yeah, I probably would have been like, hey, I was just there. Can't find my hard hat, which I need every day. And I was wearing the whole time. And I was putting on your satellite. And then all of a sudden it's missing.
Yeah.
Bro, check the back of your truck.
So, anyways, that was weird. But can we go to Myrtle Beach?
Let's go to Myrtle Beach.
Okay, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
I want to go to any beach.
Have you heard the name Heather Elvis?
No.
Okay. So, Heather Elvis was born June 30th, 1993 in South Carolina. She was the middle child. She was small. She was beautiful. She was petite. She was described as shy, quiet. She had a servant's heart. She volunteered at the church daycare. And she also went on a trip to Costa Rica where she taught little kids how to read. So great person. Maybe the lesson is don't be a great person.
I feel like obviously she's not bubbly, so she's not being
bubbly.
murdered.
Well,
so
she wasn't
now I
described
feel like she is the murderer.
She's a murderer.
Okay, that's my first initial impression.
Because she, she graduated in 2011, and she pursued her dream of becoming a cosmetologist.
Okay.
So she's going to cosmetology school. She wants to own her own beauty salon, and she's also working 2 jobs. Like, she is just ready to work. She wants to make her own money. She's hustling. She's 2 jobs at the Tilted Kilt. Have you heard of a place like that?
Yeah.
And in Myrtle Beach, it's a big like travel, touristy area, and the House of Blues. So 2 pretty fun jobs, I would think, at 18, 19, 20 years old.
Yep.
She was described as a very hard worker, and she always showed up early for her shifts. She never missed a shift. And at the time of this story, she is 20 years old. So it's June of 2013. So I feel like this just happened.
Literally.
Now, working at the Tilted Kilt, she also meets a man named Sidney Moore. And he started coming in. He didn't work for the Tilted Kilt, but he worked for a company that worked on restaurant equipment. So he was there often working on all the stoves and ovens and all those things. And Heather slowly start to catch feelings for him. And Heather's beautiful, and this guy's not horrible looking. He's older. He's probably a little bit more mature. And I think she just gets a little crush on him.
This name does sound familiar.
She eventually starts tweeting about this crush. And I guess her form of social media is Twitter back then.
Okay.
So her first tweet about this was, "One day I'm going to drag this man in the mop closet and have my way with him. Lord have mercy."
Oh my gosh.
She's talking about a 38.
Man, talk dirty to me, okay, Heather?
She's talking
Put me
about
in the mop
a
closet.
38-year-old man named Sidney. Now, Sidney, I guess they just flirted and flirted. He also starts to catch feelings. He was flirting with her. He was spending extra time with her, and he was going up to the Tilted Kilt when he wasn't on the clock. He wasn't even working. He'd just go up, sit at the bar, and just kind of flirt with her. Then he starts bringing her coffee and bagels and just slowly kind of wooing her. Okay? Is this ringing a little bit of bells?
It is sounding familiar.
The only problem with this, because it just sounds like a romance is about to happen. There's an age gap, but oh well. The only problem is he is married.
Okay, yeah.
And do you remember the movie Ted?
Drop Dead Ted?
That's Fred. It's Drop Dead Fred. Ted with the bear.
Bear?
Yes. And on the movie, Ted gets a girlfriend, and he's trying to get Mark Wahlberg to guess his girlfriend's name. And he says it's a white trash name. So Mark Wahlberg goes through like all these names, right? It's like 100 names. He doesn't say April or Caroline, luckily.
Oh, well. I'm sure Tiffany's the top name.
Well,
sorry.
The name actually is Tammy Lynn. So Sydney's wife's name is Tammy, and I'm just adding Lynn because this bitch is, she's trash.
Tammy Lynn.
And she's like a big bulldog, so we're going to call her like Dump Truck Tammy Lynn. Dump Truck Tammy Lynn. She's not the victim. That's why we're talking shit about her. So I feel like Tammy Lynn is a red flag name, number one.
Absolutely.
Heather Elvis's next Twitter post was, I'm in too deep at this point, and I'm about to get deeper. So we took this as they had probably slept together at or around this time. Heather eventually changed her Twitter status to in a relationship, but said like it's complicated. Okay?
Twitter has this. What?
I know.
Maybe she just tweeted it. Maybe she just tweeted it.
Maybe she just tweeted it. Now, this little fling lasts about a couple months and then eventually sizzles out, but people don't really know why it fizzled out. It just kind of fizzled out. But she did make a tweet in September, so this all started in June, and now it's September. And her tweet was, "Once upon a time, an angel and the devil fell in love, but it did not end well."
So she's the angel.
she's the angel, and I guess Sydney is the devil, and it did not end well because this is about the time their relationship fizzled out.
Was he trying to say, like, I'm going to leave my wife for you or anything like that? We don't know.
We don't know if she was asking him to and he refused. Like, she didn't talk to a lot of people about this relationship. So you would just be kind of speculating if you tried to figure it out. Now, they had thought actually that they had gotten away with this little fling that they had because during that time, dump truck wife Tammy Lynn did not find out about the affair.
And she wasn't into like a group situation. She was not into pineapples.
No.
Okay.
Well, they were, but she didn't even know about it, so it's not like it was a 3 thing. Okay? Now, but she did find out in October of 2013, so that next month after they broke it off, Tammy found out, and she was pissed.
She found out for sure. She
sure.
thought about it. She was like, I think this is happening, but
Probably.
now I know for sure.
And all she had to do is go to Twitter because Heather was putting it all over Twitter. Well, she
tweeting
found
it up.
out, and she starts harassing Heather via text. She was doing things like sending text messages that says someone's about to get their ass beat down. Mind you, Heather's 42, 43. She's older. Sydney's 38. Not Heather.
Dump
truck's 42.
Is 42.
Sydney's 38. Heather's 20.
Okay.
So wife is sending someone's about to get their ass beat down
To a 20-year-old.
to a 20-year-old. Then she would make Sydney call Heather and talk shit to Heather about how much he can't stand her, how she meant nothing to him, and how much he loves his wife. She would also send pictures and video of Sydney and her having sex and send it to Heather.
Yeah.
Okay? I guess she was trying to make Heather feel
Trunk
better.
was like, look at us, we doing
Look at
it.
us. Can you?
Gross.
Yeah, you need to
Like,
Google
at
what
this
they
point,
look like.
Well, at this point, like, I'm going to need Heather to be like,
She did not engage in any of she did not respond.
But did she get back? Did she still talk to Sydney after Okay. They were done. She was like,
she
okay,
was done.
this bitch
She was
is
trying
crazy.
to move on.
This dump truck is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm out. Bye. Leave me alone.
Yes. She was not
She was done.
playing it. Yeah, she was actually acting more grown than Tammy was.
Yeah. And it's so don't blame your husband, blame the girl.
Yeah, I mean that's the answer, right?
Yeah.
So Sydney's mother, Boy's mother later said that he was also being punished, that dump truck Tammy, beat him severely, that she would started handcuffing him to the bed at night to make sure that he did not leave. And Sydney co-signed on this. Like, he was like, sure, I need to make it up to you. Handcuff me to the bed.
Sydney, you're a soy boy. Sorry to tell you.
All these
Sorry
soy boys.
to tell you.
She also got his phone and changed the password so that only she knew the password. So anytime he needed to use his phone, she put in the password, let him use it in front of her, and then gave it back to her. So he did not even know the password to his own phone. She was monitoring everything. She also made him get a tattoo on his chest that said Tammy.
Oh my God. I feel like I don't know where I heard the story, but I've heard the story.
Now, all this kind of harassment lasted for a month, on and off for about a month. But Heather has moved on. She's like, I'm not worried about this. Like, I am in cosmetology school. I'm working 2 jobs. I'm dating somebody else. And she had met Steven, who is her age and is not married. It's not going to be dramatic.
Great.
So on December 17th, she goes on her first date with Steven. Now, in between September and December, Heather rapidly gains weight.
Oh, she's pregnant.
Even her bra size.
Oh, no.
And we only know this because at the Tilted Kilt, you have this full costume, and a bra is part of the costume. So she had to go up 3 sizes. So them boobies
either she got
real big.
Hungry all of a sudden, or she
got pregnant. She even did a tweet that said, "Prego my ego."
Oh, don't tweet.
And was she taunting?
Yes, she was.
She had to have been taunting.
Yeah.
The manager of Tilted Kilt said that he or she, I don't know what the manager is, took a pregnancy that Heather took a pregnancy test, but Heather told them, I'm not saying them because they're trans.
Oh,
I'm
they
saying them
because you don't know.
I don't know
what
what their
just
gender
say
is.
he. Just say he.
It came back in error.
Okay.
And you can get errors in pregnancy tests.
Wait, why is her manager doing wait, what'd you say?
Elvis told her manager, because manager's like,
Yeah, it's like,
why are we going up 3 sizes?
She's
Why
like,
are
I
you
think
going
I'm pregnant. And she's like, and the manager's like, oh, take a pregnancy test. And then she takes
said,
it,
I
and
did,
they're like,
but
oh,
it came back in an error.
Okay, got it.
And so maybe she was going to follow up and take another one.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Or just go to the doctor.
She moves in with a friend named Brianna. Brianna's like her best friend at this time.
Yeah.
And I think they both work together. They're near the beach, and she starts going to church. She's starting to date again. She meets Steven. Steven was her age, and they go on a date. They go and eat at a place called Bandito's, and they go look at Christmas lights. So it's December time. Mm-hmm. They go on a date. They go to eat. They look at Christmas lights, and they're riding around. And his car is a stick shift. A 5-speed.
Okay.
And she's like, oh, my dad always tried to teach me how to drive one. I couldn't get it down. So he's like, let me teach you. So they go to a parking lot.
Yeah.
And he is teaching how to drive a 5-speed. I love driving a 5-speed.
Is that a standard stick?
The standard stick shift.
You love driving it?
Yes. If somebody had one right now, I would beg them to drive their car. Just because
Oh,
I haven't drove one for so long.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
I mean, I don't, but I have access to one.
Let's go back
I
in a
was
5-speed.
always I used to
Burn the
drive one.
clutch.
Oh, for sure. But then my stepmom, that would be you who's listening right now. Whenever her dad passed away, he had like his old school Jeep, like Suzuki Jeep, and so we could drive it around and like play with it. But she would like tell me where to go. Like we'd go into town, like in West, and bitch made me go on a street that was a hill and I rolled backwards. And I'm like, you made me do this on purpose. But yeah, so that's
Yeah. So they're driving this car, and then they go back to his house where he still lives with his mom, but they're just watching movies. It's innocent, and he takes her home about 1:30 that night. So the date was on the 17th in December. It's now 18th of December because it's 1:30 in the morning, right? It's the next day. This will be the last time Heather was seen. So what we know, here's a little bit of the timeline. Now, Brianna's roommate was not at home when he took her home because she was visiting family somewhere else. And takes her home about 1:30. But also at 1:30, just on like a couple miles away in town, on surveillance camera, you see Sydney and dump truck Tammy pulling up to a local Walmart. They're on surveillance camera. He goes in, and what do you think he buys?
Let's see. Does he buy trash bags or bleach or rope or duct tape or
A pregnancy test.
A pregnancy test.
A pregnancy test.
With
Wife
dump
is
truck?
in the car. Yep. And then they leave and they go to the gas station that's kind of next to the Walmart. And he is seen walking to a payphone. It's 2013. Why do you need a payphone? Yeah. So, and then Heather gets a call at 1:35. So they leave Walmart. He walks to a payphone. Heather gets a call from a number she does not know. This phone call lasts 5 minutes. I'm going through the timeline of what we know, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, who do you think called from that number Heather did not know? Sydney. Because from the payphone, right? So Heather calls Brianna later almost close
Heather
to
called
2.
roommate Brianna.
Roommate Brianna,
Yep.
and says, and she's like very distraught, and she's crying, and she says, Sydney just called me. And he's talking to me, and I just don't know what to do. And so Brianna was like, you make sure, bitch. She's probably like, bitch, don't leave. Don't meet him. It's 2 a.m. Nothing good happens after. And I don't trust his wife.
Yeah, she
Okay.
dumped her Tammy. Yes.
I don't trust anybody named Tammy Lynn.
No.
So she's like, do not go meet him. Do not go meet him. Do not go meet him. So Heather's like, okay, I guess I won't. But at 2:30 a.m., I guess Heather is in her feelings. She calls that payphone number back 9 times. But she don't know it's a payphone. just a number she don't know that she knows she talked to Sydney. So she calls that number back.
Oh, she's like so in love with him.
9 times.
She's dictified.
No answer, no answer, no answer. 2:42. We know that 2:42 and to 2:56 a.m., she leaves her apartment, and her cell phone is pinged at Longbeard's bar and restaurant, just right by her house. 14 minutes later, she leaves that bar. She drives away, but then drives back and goes back to Longbeard's bar. Nobody said she goes in. She's just kind of in the parking lot. Okay? She calls Sydney again, calls that payphone, doesn't answer. Calls his personal phone, doesn't answer. And then she goes back home at 3:19 p.m. So we don't know what that conversation from the payphone was about. Some reason she went to Longbeard's, okay? She goes back home and it's 3:19. Sorry, not p.m. It's a.m., a.m., a.m.
Okay, yeah.
Sydney picks up the phone because she calls again. And they talk for 4 minutes and 16 seconds. And then Heather leaves her apartment again at 3:25, and she drives to a boat dock, the Peachtree Boat Landing. This is not a hangout spot. This is not like Lover's Leap. This is just a random boat dock.
That they've never been to before. It's like, have they ever had an encounter there before? They've never met there before.
It does not seem like it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I feel like boat docks in North Carolina or South Carolina are a little sketchy because this is where Susan Smith took her kids and drove them right down the boat dock.
And
so
this is also where the Murdaugh, they were in South Carolina, Low Country. And
but I feel like Heather, she was
dictified.
Yeah.
Or is that what we called it?
Yeah, dictified.
Yeah, she just was like.
She had this older man.
She was in love with him, and she could not. She could not.
She wasn't thinking straight. So 3:25, she's there at Peachtree. At 3:36 a.m., a Ford F-150, dark colored, which is what Sydney drives down the road and into the Peachtree boat landing. At 3:42 a.m., Heather's phone goes dark, it's turned off, never turned back on again. 3:45 a.m., that Ford F-150 is seen leaving the Peachtree boat landing.
What was the time frame of that? When did he get there?
He got there at 3:42. He
left at
3:45.
Oh, okay, so 3 minutes.
Yeah. Now, December 18th, so this is the next morning. The next day, Terry is Heather's dad, and they're really close. And he's concerned. He has not heard from Heather. He's called, can't get a hold of her. So he calls the police, and the police pretty quickly find her car at the Peachtree boat dock landing thing. Dad actually goes with them and meets them there and looks in the car, and they're like, this car is trashed. And he's like, oh, this is normal. She keeps a dirty car. Her wallet and her ID's in there, but her cell phone's nowhere to be found. He has a spare key, so the police are like, you can go ahead and take her car home.
Wait,
As
what?
true crime people.
No, don't. You leave everything there. Don't touch anything.
I know. They're not treating, they're not concerned that a crime has happened at this time.
What, they think she just drove out to the Peachtree landing and left her
walked
car there and walked around and just took a swim? Hell no.
There's no telling what they thought, but they let Dad drive the car home.
Oh, these dumbasses.
And probably should not have. Now, nothing from Heather, so Daddy calls a missing person, or files a missing person report, and the police search the Peachtree Landing boat place. They go and they question Stephen, who she had a date with that night. And Stephen he cooperated. He took a polygraph test. He was like, sure, look at my phone, like, do whatever you need to do. We went on one date. Like, I thought it went great, but I dropped her back off at the house.
We went on a one whole date, bro.
One whole date. He was released and he was cleared. They also find out when talking to Brianna and people at work that she was in a little love triangle type situation. So here comes Sydney and here comes Dump Truck. And they're questioning them. And they're like, so have you talked to Heather lately? Sydney was like, no.
Who's Heather?
Not in 6 weeks.
Yeah, who's Heather? Who's Heather?
And they were like, well,
I'm pretty sure it's our truck.
We have cell phone records to say that y'all have talked. And he was like, they were like, we also.
Well, it must have been a butt dial.
Yeah. They were like, have you ever been to the Peachtree boat landing? He's like, no, never. Where is that?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
And they says, well, actually, here's footage of your truck going to it. And he's like,
not my truck.
Yeah, I was embarrassed. Actually, me and my wife went there to go have sex. And they were like, oh, for 3 minutes?
Oh, wow, that's
You
quick.
left 3
That's
minutes
real
later.
fast. That's a real fast sex.
They also said, did you use a payphone? She got a phone call at this time. Would that happen to be you? And he was like, no, payphones still exist.
Oh, my gosh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
No.
And they said, and he's like,
Oh, we're actually on video on the payphone.
this is your own video. So, anyways, he's getting caught in these lies and these lies and these lies.
Is this guy's name Sidney Moorer?
More? Yeah.
Okay.
You know the story now?
I feel like it's like, yes.
A little bit?
A lot. It feels like I heard it a long time ago, and it's like these little.
It's like a 12-year story, but it's kind of just now wrapping up.
Yeah.
So, he denied, and then when he finally got caught in a lie, he'd kind of give him a little bit. And then they were like, we also saw you and your wife at Walmart. You went in, and why would you buy a pregnancy test? He was like, oh, it's for my wife, but it was negative.
Oh.
And they're like,
because she's
but
so
your
young
wife
and
is
fertile.
99 years old.
Yeah, and she's ugly, and she's fat, and she's gross, and her name's fucking Tammy Lynn, and she's
Tammy
a dump
Lynn.
truck.
He was like, yeah, we have to take them all the
I
time.
don't know anything she looks like, but I'm talking shit because I don't like her.
They began searching for Heather because they're like, something had to happen. So they're searching on land, they're searching in water, and they find nothing. And because they don't really have a body or much evidence, there's no arrest.
Nothing.
They didn't find anything. No arrest.
Okay.
So Tammy decides to go to Twitter.
Of course she does.
Basically, summing up her long-ass post, but she was like, yeah, so my husband, Sydney, had an affair. Yes, he's an asshole with a hoe that he worked with, but now her dad is threatening to kill me and my kids. And you know what? She saw him, and she became obsessed with him. If you go look at her Twitter, she talked all about it. But I could care less because I, too, had a boyfriend at the time. So they had an open relationship.
Okay.
She had a boyfriend this whole time, but I guess Sydney was not allowed. Or she was jealous.
Ma'am.
And she was like, I could care less about the affair. Yeah, he's an asshole, but you don't mess with my kids, okay? So police see this, and they go question Daddy Terry. And he's like, no, I've not talked to them, but actually I'm being threatened because I was outside and a car came down the road and there were two men in the car and they threw a bottle and they said, first it was Heather, next is Morgan. Morgan's Heather's little sister. So he said that they're threatening his family. So we don't know what the truth is, but they're both saying they're being threatened. There is now a $10,000 reward out for any evidence that brings about the case, that helps in the case of Heather. Police are like, we know the Sydney and Tammy probably did this, but we don't have any evidence. So they get a search warrant and they go and search the house. And not only is her name trashy, so is their house.
Oh.
There is like spoiled meat sitting out on the counter with like mold and flies. The house is trashy. Like she lives in a house like a Tammy.
Ew.
It's just gross. They probably smoke
disgusted.
cigarettes. The house is trashed. But
I'm
they have kids there.
Why can you not? Why do you have flies? Okay, like I talked about my she shed where I had flies outside.
Oh, flies are just bad.
But I do not have flies inside my house.
No.
Hovering around dirty shit.
Gross meat.
No, and no. Ma'am, she has a dirty vagina.
The house is
I'm
gross.
grossed out. That's why he's going with young Heather.
She's got dirty vajayjay.
She must make the money or something because there's no way. I don't know why he's staying with her.
So
Gross.
they find something in the house
Gross.
that gives them enough evidence where they need to make an arrest.
Yeah, they
Okay.
do. They do.
And so they make an arrest, and they are charged with first-degree murder, kidnapping, conspiracy to kidnap, and obstruction of justice. So
Good.
a lot of great charges.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so they're in jail for a little bit. Tammy's mama puts up her house collateral to get them out of jail. It's like $100,000 bond. So she puts her house for collateral. Okay. So then they're out of jail. And I think they're living with mom, but mom doesn't live in the area. Now, they take this to the grand jury. They're not able to get a charge of the first-degree murder because it's very hard when you don't have much evidence and no body. Like, how do you prove murder when there's not a dead body? It's very hard. Very, very hard.
Yeah.
So they don't have the murder charge.
Oh, gosh.
So there's a trial for Sydney, and he goes to trial for kidnapping charge.
Okay.
Okay? And the jury deliberates for 11 hours. They are deadlocked.
Oh, shit.
10-2. 10 people think he did kidnap her. 2 people think that he didn't. And one of those 2 people are good friends with the lawyers, like Sydney's lawyers.
No.
So it's a conflict, but the judge didn't think it was a conflict.
Oh,
but they were like, forget this. We're going to retry him. We just need to wait a little bit. Oh, my gosh. When he gets out of jail, like when he is deadlocked and the trial's over, Sydney goes to social media. They love social media. And he starts to point the finger at Daddy Terry. He's like, police tried to get me, but obviously there's not enough evidence, and it's because it's not me. They know who the real person is. I think he said killer, actually. Know who the real person is, and they have evidence, and it is her dad. Her dad has been abusing her since she was 4 years old. And she's basically saying, like, her dad has been abusing her, raping her, and probably got her pregnant, and that's why he had to get rid of the body.
What?
Just like you said, what? So did the police, and so did everybody else in the world that were following this case. So now the police are like, okay, we can't ignore this. We need to clear Dad.
God.
We need to clear Dad. We need to look. So they investigate. They talk to any and everybody from her childhood on up, and they found nothing that said, that no evidence that Terry was a horrible or abusive or sexually abusive, did anything wrong to Heather. So then they were like, they really are even more guilty because they're trying to put the attention on somebody else, right?
Oh, my gosh.
So now Tammy goes to trial, and this is now 2018. So she was killed in 2013. They were free this whole time. It's 2018. She goes to trial for kidnapping and conspiracy for kidnapping, and the jury deliberates only 2 hours. And I think they brought this trial out of the county. They took it out a little bit. And she gets convicted, and she gets 30 years.
Oh, good.
He goes to trial in 2019 for conspiracy
For his
kidnapping.
second trial.
Yeah. The second trial, because the first one was deadlocked.
Yeah.
And they're just like, we don't even need to deliberate, basically. He's guilty. So he, too, gets 30 years, which he was already sentenced for the obstruction to justice. So he already did a little bit of time for obstructing, for lying about the payphone. So in 2019, the case was finally solved. They finally got their justice. But Heather's
Still have
body
no body.
was never found. We have no idea if she's dead. She's probably dead. But how she died, what happened, was she pregnant, whose the kid was. And so that's what the jury was saying. I mean, that's what the trial was basically about, is that he probably got her pregnant, and they had to get rid of the body so that they could never link that baby was Sydney's. They were right there by, I mean, it's Myrtle Beach. They threw her in the ocean. It's like Natalie Holloway.
That's true.
Never to be found. So, though the family did get some justice, they will never know.
Oh my!
So they asked Jesus what happened.
See, if only he would have just said, "Dump truck, bye, I'm out." He could have lived his best life
because he was saying that
with Tammy, and they could have had a kid, and he could have been baby old dad, and she could have. It's just 20 years.
He was saying that. He couldn't have left the house because he gets locked up to the headboard to the bed every night. So he actually could have.
You actually liked to be the damn soy boy, submissive, stupid ass, dumbass.
Yeah.
I cannot.
Cannot.
I do remember hearing about that story, but I did not ever know, I guess, the final outcome. But.
So there's Heather Elvis.
Never trust a dump truck.
Never trust a Tammy.
And if you are in a situation where you want to get out of your marriage, don't don't. You don't have to murder You don't have to murder. Just get out of the marriage. I feel like it's simple math.
And it's one thing, if you kill, if the man wants to kill a side piece to cover up so his wife don't find out. But, when the couple agrees, just like your story from last week.
She probably wasn't even, he probably didn't even have a choice. He's probably handcuffed, and she probably did it.
Yes.
She did it.
And he's probably never going to turn on him.
No, because
oh, my goodness. Breaking news.
Oh, shit. I don't even want to know what's the breaking news right now. Good gosh.
Oh my gosh.
What? Oh gosh.
The love of my life, Stone Cold Steve Austin, likes cats. Soupy just sent me a tweet that
podcast over.
He tweeted that he's a cat dad and he took a picture with the damn cat. He's like, do you still love him now?
Yes. To us.
You don't know. It's official depression. Official depression.
You know what? I did that for you. I rolled on the floor right now for you and your emotions and feelings. Because
man, this damn cat, he's something else. Panchy, you little fucker, I love you. Stone Cold. How could you?
I'm sorry that we have to end the podcast this way, but this is a breaking news. And Trenton's whole life he thought this was his daddy. Listen. Before you get too excited about it, this is what you do. Anytime you get breaking news, you have to confirm it with two sources. You've only had one source, and you need to go just...
Bitch, he's holding the fucking...
I'm out here shoveling horse shit.
Oh, I love his voice, though. Oh, I love his voice. Oh.
Wait, which one's Stone Cold? I don't really know which one that is, but he...
The love of my life.
No, let me see it.
Podcast over. Actually, this is our last podcast. I quit.
Yeah, she's just quit because that is definitely a cat on his whole ass neck. I mean, maybe it's like a... Nope, cat dad adventures.
Tomorrow is my best friend's sleepover, and I'm definitely going to cry to them about this.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week for a whole new week of BloodyHappyHour. I'll be crying until then. Don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always
pet a cat. Never like cats. Never name your kid Tammy Lynn or Billie Jean.
Or be a nurse. Or be from Utah or Idaho. Or be a felon. I mean, I don't know.
We need a Bible of the Bloody Happy Hour rules.
Can somebody make us a Bible? Oh. If we have one listener out there or one watcher, just make the BHH Bible, the red flag Bible, because we get confused about what is red
the rules
flags.
Are.
So can you please just make us a red flag Bible and you can just
we'll just add to it each time.
Yeah.
Keep a running list.
So somebody just send it to us, email it to us. How should they send it to us? BloodyHappyHour@gmail.com. Yeah. You can Instagram it to us. You can text it if you have our number to us. But we need a Bible.
Yeah.
We need a red flag Bible.
We need it.
Thanks.
Hey, and if you're on Patreon, you tune in soon because me and Caroline are about to just record our happy hour.
Yep.
And there's no telling what we're going to talk about.
We're going to talk about all. It's going to be X-rated and it's going to be ratchet.
Raw and ratchet.
Worse than our regular show.
Oh. Don't forget to... Oh, we already said it.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
bye, y'all.
Bye.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production. In a world where dreams meet reality, there exists a place where your business can flourish. That place is Shopify. Imagine having the power to craft your online store with tools that make it as easy as a gentle breeze. Whether you're an artisan of handmade wonders, a creator of digital treasures, or a curator of the latest trends, Shopify stands by your side. With its customizable templates, seamless integrations, and support that's always there, your dream store is just a heartbeat away. Join millions of visionaries around the globe and let Shopify guide you on your journey. Visit roguemedianetwork.com/Shopify. That's roguemedianetwork.com/SHOPIFY. And embark on your free trial. Shopify, where your commerce dreams come to life.